Amazing message that I have. I know you guys are on your lunch break, and I took some time out myself to come and share this message. So it's all about answering the how, right? And so what you've been told but haven't been taught. And so I have a couple of examples to help make that clear for you, right? And so in that, I'm talking about when people may say, cast your cares on God because he cares for you. Okay, that sounds good, but how, right? And then also go after your dreams. They're waiting for you. I know that, I've received that, I feel that, but how, right? Going to your next dimension. How? And so all of that, somebody telling you to do it, but how do you actually do it? So I told you, right? But I haven't taught you. And so how do you cast your cares because God cares for you? And so there's a plethora of ways. And it's something that I did growing up, not even realizing that I was participating in biblical principles. And so I'll give you a little bit of how I did that and how it's what I live. It's not what I say, but it's how I live my life. And so what I do is that anything that there's a care, when cares show up, I will write them down. I'll put them in a water bottle, right? Put it in a water bottle just like this. I'll put it in a water bottle and I'll take it to the water. And I literally cast my cares. That's what I was taught growing up as a child. When I would have challenges or something that would bring anxiety on, I would share those concerns with my mother and she would say, okay, let's take it to the water. And so what that means is simply writing down your cares, anything that's bringing any anxiety, any distractions to you, writing it down, putting it in a bottle and casting your cares. And so we would go to Haynes Point, right? And she said, I want you to walk towards what it is you're getting ready to cast. And when you get to the point where you're going to cast it, I want you to turn around and throw it over your shoulder and never look back. And so I would do that every time I would have any challenges that would come up. I would write it down, put it in the water, go to Haynes Point, cast it, toss it over my back and never look back. And that care never showed up again. What I find is that people don't, one, cast their cares, and two, they go back and get it. And so that process that my mother taught me was to, once you cast that care, don't you look back and don't you go pick it up. And so you guys got to stop looking back. Stop looking back at that thing that you once cast. Stop going back, picking up that thing that you once cast. Cast your cares because God cares for you. And this is an activity that I do at every one of my retreats for a few reasons. One, people don't know how to do it. And two, they don't do it on a consistent basis. Your cares is something that shows up that distracts your life on a consistent basis every single day. And so if it's showing up on a consistent basis every single day, that means what? You got to cast your cares every single day, right? And so here's the thing about casting cares. Don't allow casting cares to become a care. I'm going to say that again. Don't allow casting cares to become a care, right? And so what I mean by that is that you're now casting cares. It's becoming a care. It's becoming a distraction to you casting your cares. Don't allow that to happen. Simply cast your cares and keep it moving. And again, this is something that I do at my retreats every single year. And it's something that I'll be doing this year, but God has given me something completely different to add to it. And it is an experience that you have to experience, right? And so let's go on to something else, right? Let's go on to another thing that people will say, that people will constantly tell you, how to tell you what to do, but not how to do it, right? That is to live your dreams. How? How do you live your dreams? How do you go after your dreams, right? And so the way you live your dreams, the way you go after your dreams is, one, you identify them. What is your dreams? What is it that you want to do to help get you to the next dimension? Write that down. Make it clear. Make it very simple and begin to proactively, not reactively, to proactively go after those dreams. Too often people leave their dreams in their mind, right? They got all these tabs open in their mind and it becomes unclear to what exactly they are supposed to do. No, you got to get it out of your mind. Stop hoarding your dreams. Stop hoarding your visions in your mind. You got to get it out your mind and write it down on paper. Right? And then begin to proactively go after them on a consistent basis. Prioritize them, because we all have amazing dreams that will go from one level to another level, but they're not all for this time. So you got to prioritize them properly so you're not spinning your wheels doing something that's not for you in this time, right? So write them down. Get out your head. Stop hoarding your dreams in your head. Start closing out some of those tabs that are open in your head and write them down. Literally, write them down. And so from that, you'll begin to see your dreams and your visions manifest right before your very eyes, literally. And so what's your how? What is something that somebody has told you to do, but haven't quite taught you to do? I see people live out their life every single day recycling. They look the same way they did 3 years ago. And I'm just not talking about weight, but I'm talking about their life. They look exactly the same. So what is it that you have been told to do, but you haven't been taught to do, right? And so that is exactly what I am teaching, what I'm help cultivating, because it's already on the inside of you. When I'm help cultivating you at my retreat on Labor Day in August, going into September, Labor Day weekend, is how to not only cultivate your dreams, but help them manifest. What is that? Thank you, Cedric. Write them down. Write your dreams down, right? So what is it for you that somebody has told you to do, but they haven't quite taught you to do it, right? And so I say all the time that invitation precedes transformation, right? And so I'm going to add to that today. Invitation with declaration, but no execution, there's no manifestation. I'm going to say that again. Invitation with just you declaring something with no execution is absolutely no destination. You'll never get to your destination. It's no manifestation. You'll never begin to manifest what you see and what you declare when you don't have any execution. So what is what you've been told to do, but you haven't been taught to do? What is that for you? You guys know I love to hear from you and to help you out. So I need to hear from you in order to help you out. Jacqueline says, taking it to the water. I love it. Absolutely. Listen, it works every time for anyone that works it. And so here's the thing. You may not have time to take it to the water. That is my connection to take it to the water, right? Because for me, I'm connecting in my mind to toss it into the sea of forgetfulness, right? Yours may be writing it down and burning it up. I'm talking about casting cares here. Yours may be writing it down and ripping it up. It's whatever your point of connection is that's going to help you cast the care and not pick it back up. What's your how? What is it that you've been told to do, but never been taught to do? Another one is people have been told you need to lose weight. But how? How do I lose weight? Everybody know that needs to lose weight. They know they need to lose weight. But how do you lose weight? What's your how? How do you get there? Right? And so stop allowing other people's definitions to define who you are. I remember when I was having my Brilliance brunch a couple months ago, and I was looking up the definition because I believe that everything should be defined. And I was looking up the definition for brilliance, and I went to the dictionary, and I was so disappointed with the definition that it gave me. And so I was like, that's it, Webb? That's it, Webb? And I'm talking about Webster Dictionary at this point. And I said, that's it? That's all you got? That's how you interpret brilliance? Well, let me write my own dictionary, because my definition of brilliance and yours is completely different. And so that's the same with your life. What's your definition of your life? What's your definition of your worth? What's your definition of your birthing? Because you've allowed some things, some people, and some places to define who you are, to define your worth. No, what's your definition? Begin to create your own dictionary. I'm literally working on my own dictionary because my belief and what Webb belief is completely different, right? And so you can't allow somebody to limit your imagination. So begin to write your own dictionary on what your beliefs is, what your beliefs are, right? What are your beliefs? What's your how? What has somebody told you to do but haven't taught you to do? What is that? Another one that I see is that people retire to one stream of income. Why? Because that's what they've been taught to do. That's what they've been told to do. But nobody has taught you that there are several streams of income out there beyond multi-level marketing to help you leverage. Let's talk about leverage, to help you leverage your legacy. What is that? Or you may have multiple streams of income, but they all aren't streaming income because you've been told to have multiple streams, but you've never been taught how. That's what I'll be teaching. That's what I'll be sharing at Destination The Retreat. The how, right? You've been told to, but you have missed the how, and I'm teaching you the how. Whatever that how is for you, I'm teaching you the how. What have you been taught to do? What have you been told to do, right? That you haven't been taught to do, right? What is that for you? What is that for you guys? I want to hear from you. Help me help you. And so my team, I absolutely love them. They say, you know, Tasha, you come on here and you ask all of these thought-provoking questions and you're looking for an answer. I am. And so here's the reason why I am. Because if you don't answer the question, you will halt the outcome. You will halt the manifestation, right? And so invitation precedes transformation. This question is an invitation towards your transformation. I believe that people don't even actually think of the questions that I share. And that's why it's thought provoking. It begins to have those thoughts, those dreams to begin to come alive. And so what have you been told, but haven't been taught? What is it that you need clarity on, right? What is that? Like for me, I always knew that greater was available, but I never knew how to go get it. I never knew how to bridge that gap in between better and best, in between great and greater. And I had to learn that. I had to execute on a consistent basis over and over and over and over again. And so even in that, you'll hear people say, believe God. How? How do you believe God? How is it that we all sit under the same teaching? This is whether you're in the home, you have siblings, whether you're at church. How is it that we sit under the same teaching and come out with different outcomes? Because we haven't been taught the how. How is it that we're going to do what it is that we want to do? What it is we know is there to do? What's the how? What's the how? And so Tab said that she writes it down and then she rips it up. Awesome. I love that. She's talking about casting cares here. What's your how, guys? What's your how that you need help with? What is that? Talk to me. Talk back to me. I can actually see your comments now. Earlier, I couldn't see your comments. But what's your how? Where are you right now? Do you know that better is available, but you just don't know how to get to it? Do you know that better is available, but you allow other people to rob you of your better because you're investing in their best while your better stays good? What is it? What is it? What is your how, guys? I want to hear from you. What's your how? You guys have heard my how. What's your how? Are you carrying cares that you should be casting? Are you operating off a belief that somebody else has defined for you? Are you staying at a job because it pays the bills and it meets you where you are, but you know it can't take you to where you need to be? What's your how? What's your how, guys? I want to hear from you. I know I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep on saying it until I hear from you guys. And so that could be either here or in my inbox. I am here to help you get help with your how. How do you get to your next, right? Whatever it is, your next is, right? It may not be you leaving your job, but better is always available. Their gifts, their callings, their dreams that are on the inside of all of us, but we got to get there. It's like, there's a destination, but you don't know how to get there, right? You don't know the steps. You don't know how to get to your destination. I'm here to help you get to your destination. I am here to help you get to your destination. What's your how? What have you been told to do, but you haven't been taught to do? And Tabitha says you give two things to think about at once. Right. And so, Tab, I'm just throwing out different options, different things for you to think about on what your how is. What have you been taught to do, but you haven't been told? You've been told to do, but you haven't been taught how to do it, right? I get a lot of inboxes, how did you get from leaving corporate America to pursuing your business full time and it's successful? And so here's what I mean by successful. When I transitioned from corporate America, I didn't just transition. There was a plan. There was a how, and I followed the process in the how. And so with me following the process in the how, there is no stress. There is no strain. There is no struggle on the other side because I followed the how. I followed the destination. I completed that part of the journey as I was given the instructions to complete it, right? And let me be a little bit more clear for you guys. In corporate America, I made a 6-figure income and I absolutely love what I did. Didn't have any complaints with the job that I did. I love the people that I work with. I absolutely loved my job. I'm not one of those people that's like, I hate my job. I got to get out of here. That wasn't my story, right? However, it was not my passion. It was not my gift. It was not my calling that God had called me to do. It was something that I learned and I mastered. Okay. And so when God began to tell me that it was time to transition, He began to give me steps to do in the process to get to the destination that He had called me to, right? And so in getting to that destination, there were some things that I considered because I had become comfortable with it. What do I mean by that? I had become comfortable with that every 2-week direct deposit, right? I had become comfortable with the great insurance policy that my job offered, right? I had become comfortable with calling the shots and having other people help me with the vision versus me coming out. And now it would all be on me initially because it was the vision that God had called me to and not the people that I was working with, right? So I considered those things, but I did not let it halt me. And so in moving in the process that God had given me, by the time it was time for me to completely transition, I was completely ready for the transition. There was no stress. There was no strain. There was no struggle. Nothing has been cut off. I hear a lot of entrepreneurs say, when you in business for yourself, it's hard. No, it's hard because you say it's hard. It's hard because you've made a covenant with the word hard. There is nothing hard when you're in the will of God. Absolutely nothing. Hear that again. There is nothing hard when you're in the will of God. He made it perfectly clear that when I bless you, I add no sorrow. And so if you have sorrow in your life, you may be outside of the will of God. You may have jumped the course too fast and not followed the process in order to get to the destination, right? And so there is no stress, no strain, no struggle with me transitioning from corporate America because I followed the process. I was told to, and I learned how, right? And so in that, the same is so with you. What have you been told to do, but not how to do it? The instructions are very clear. If you've been given a vision, you've been given provision. But you need to tap into the provision. You need to tap into what that how is. How do I get there? And so I never, ever discuss finances because it's my personal business that I don't care to share. But I have been feeling this pull to share it for several weeks now. And I'm like, God, I'm not comfortable with sharing that. But I'm going to share that because He told me to. And so here's the thing. When I left corporate America, like I said, I was at the 6-figure level, right? And so when I left corporate America, I consider some things that I just mentioned. Insurance, that direct deposit, because when you're an entrepreneur, your money comes in completely different. There is no automatic direct deposit every 2 weeks. If you don't work, you don't get paid. Point blank, period. But here is the blessing of following the blueprint. Here's the blessing of following the journey. Here's the blessing of following the how-to. I gave myself a $26,000 increase in 1 year. Hear that. I gave myself a $26,000 increase in 1 year. Now, on your jobs, you're typically going to get 4%, and that's at the high level, right? Or it's 5% or 2% or 1%. I would have spent at least 15 years probably trying to get a $26,000 increase. I gave myself a $26,000 increase from pure obedience. My last day on my job, this is another thing, guys. Be mindful of how you sow, because whatever you sow, you will reap exactly that. I was on my job for 5 years. I was the general manager, right? And so I was there. They were settled. They were comfortable with how I ran things, and things ran well. And so when I left, I gave them a 60-day notice. Who does that? I do, because I sow my harvest. I sow what I want to receive. All right. So be careful how you sowing. You guys that are on these jobs that you don't like and you're complaining day in, day out, be careful. Mind the words that you allow to flow from your mouth, because you are sowing your harvest. And whatsoever a man soweth, whether it's good or bad, he will reap. So I gave them a 60-day notice. I gave them far enough notice in advance for you to hire somebody, bring them in while I'm here, let me train them at no additional expense to the job. None. I'm sowing my harvest. I know exactly what I'm doing. And so my last day of that 60-day notice was a Wednesday. That Friday, the very next day, I received an invitation from PG County official to come in and have a round table with the higher ups to be hired to do a job for them based on what I requested, based on my contract, based on my fees. You get that? The next day. That's because I sold my harvest, right? And so be careful of how you sow. That one contract landed me $12,000. That one contract. So be mindful how you sow. Then a month later, after I left corporate America, somebody came in and said, hey, don't even know me. They know me through somebody. And the person that they know me through said, hey, I got a message from XYZ for you to apply for this contract, and they got it, and the scholarship is $20,000. Listen, I know how to sow. I know how to position myself. I know how to declare, and I know how to stand and position and work through the process in order to get to the manifestation. Another contract within 30 days of me leaving corporate America that landed me just off the break without me doing anything, without me having to submit anything. They came to me. So it's a total of $31,000 in 30 days. You guys figure it out. That's plain and simple. That's very clear, right? And so I shared that to say with you, don't stay stuck in what you were told to do. Find out how and do it. Follow the process, follow the blueprint to get to your destination, because your manifestation is waiting. Your manifestation is waiting. I guarantee you that had I stayed in corporate America a month longer, that wouldn't have happened, right? So you got to go beyond what you've been told to do, what you've been telling yourself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And so your win could be possibly, I don't know how. I speak to a lot of people that says, I know there's more, but I'm just not sure. I know that I was called to do more than help people get their best. What are they lacking? They're lacking the how. They're lacking the how. And so those are some of the things that I'm going to be sharing very intimately with you directly. There's no broad conversation. It's with you directly because everybody's situation is completely different. And it's just a matter of you identifying the steps to get there and executing. Very simple. 2 things. But you need somebody to help you see it. You cannot be the frame and the picture. You can't. And so you need somebody to help you see it. You need somebody to help you get to your next dimension, whatever it is. And so as I mentioned before, that everybody should have at least 7, I'm working on 10. You should have at least 7 streams of income. Whether you stay on your job or not, you should have some extra income coming in. Because I know people, and I was one like that. I love my job. Leave for what? That's crazy. Or I haven't been called to leave. That's not what God told me to do. I get you. But you need to have some extra income. You need to have extra streams that's working on your behalf. My last 3 years in corporate America, I didn't know when payday was. Why? Because my streams was working on my behalf. Literally. One time they had an issue with payroll and they sent out this email apologizing because direct deposits didn't come through, and I didn't even miss it. To God be all the glory. I didn't even miss it. Why? Because I had several streams working. I wasn't depending on one thing to be the thing, right? So stop depending on one thing to be the thing and go create your things with an S. Go create your things with an S. That's what God has called you to do. In addition to that, as you go, others will come along just because you went. They'll be inspired by your brilliance. They'll be inspired by your courage. They'll be inspired by your determination to say, hey, listen, there's more and I'm going to get it. I tell my clients at my studio when I'm teaching my fitness classes, you're either the lion or you're the gazelle. There's no in between. You're either running to life or you're running for your life. The gazelle is always running for its life because it knows that if the lion catches him, he will be slaughtered. So you are either the lion or are you the gazelle? I'm the lion in every area of my life. I win. Why? Because I follow the blueprint. Because I'm always actively working on my next. I'm always actively going after better because it's available. You are not where you are just to stay where you are. You reached this level where you are to go to your next level. What is that for you? What is it that you are holding back on? What is it that you've been told to do, but you haven't been taught to do it? What is that? I'm here to help you identify and execute what it is that you have been told to do but not been taught to do. It is one of my reasons for my being. It really is. I know that I've been placed here to get people from one level of glory to the next level of glory over and over and over and over again. When I have my staff meetings with my team, I'm always pouring into them. I'm always stretching them to their next. Why? Because it's in there. And I had one of my team members simply ask me, she said, why do you do this for us? And my answer was very simple, because I wished I had somebody do it for me. I wish that somebody would have seen the greatness on the inside of me and help me get to the next dimension in a short period of time. Because here's the thing, you don't know what you don't know. You can't be the picture and the frame. And so somebody on the outside needs to see where you're going and help you get there. And so let me just clarify something here, because I heard something and I want to clarify that. My mother did an amazing job with raising me, clearly, right? And so, but there were some things that she didn't know to help me get to the next dimension. And then there was I didn't have anybody around me to help me get to the next dimension. I remember I ran track in school. In school, I was a beast. But there was nobody around me to say, listen, take this to the next dimension. Here are the steps to get here. You need to be included in this organization. You need to go to this race. I didn't have that. And so for me, I give that to people. I don't care where I am. I can be in a grocery store. I can be in a laundromat. I ain't in a laundromat no more, to God be the glory. But the point is, I can be anywhere. And if I see greatness on the inside of you, I'm going to give you a tip to take it to the next dimension. That's just who I am. That's how I'm built. Right? And I'm sowing my harvest, right? I sow my harvest because here's the thing. I got so much seed in the ground. I may not personally reap it before I go on to glory. And that's years and years and years and years, 100 and so years. But my children, my seed, people that are connected to me will reap as a result of how I've sown. I know that I'm reaping from my ancestors. I know that I'm reaping from my grandmother, my great grandfather, and those that became before me that wasn't able to reap their seed. I'm a benefactor of their seed. Right? And so I do the same thing when I see people. When you come into my studio, right? You're not just coming for a fitness. We're going to make sure your mind is fit. We're going to make sure your mind is whole. We're going to make sure your mind is well. We're going to make sure where you are, that you don't stay there any longer. I don't care if you're in my presence for 10 seconds. When you leave, I've given you something to think about. That's intentional. That's who God has birthed me to be. And guess what? I don't always feel like it sometimes. Sometimes I be like, God, not today, God. But it's who I am. And so I do that on a consistent basis because I simply wish I had it. And so you do what you wish you had. You be the change that you want to see. Stop sitting and waiting and saying somebody got to do something. You be the somebody. Why not? You be the somebody. And so I am the somebody to make sure that people rise up to their next dimension. I get so excited, but I'm the one to make sure that people rise up to their next dimension, not to stay settled with mediocrity. And so mediocrity is simply you remaining the same way without any change. That's mediocrity. People have this misnomer, this misconception of what mediocrity is. They think because they're not down in the dumps that they're not mediocre. You are mediocre. You have mediocre habits if you stay the same and refuse to change. That's mediocrity. You should never, ever be the same from one day to the next. You should brush your teeth different every single day. You should wash your face different every single day. There should be something different about you every single day. And I'm the person to help you pull that out, to help you experience your brilliance, and not just experience, but to manifest it, to walk in it every day of your life. We've had enough of being inspired. As a matter of fact, I'm sick of it. It actually, I'm just going to say it, pisses me off that we got all this inspiration, but no execution. Where's your execution? Where's your brilliance? Where is it in the earth realm? Go get it. Come get it. I'm giving you an invitation to come to Destination, the retreat. It's time to go to your destination, guys. You've been at this place long enough and you know it. You know it. You've been here long enough. So I'm giving you an invitation to come to Destination, the retreat, to get to your transformation. Go to destinationtheretreat.eventbrite.com right now and sign up before the early bird special. Right now, it's only $350 for the early bird special, and then you can make payments on the next day, on the next payments. But at least getting your early bird payment in and join us at Destination so you can go to your next destination. It's time out for remaining the same way, guys. It really is. You need to know the how of what you've been told to do. You need to know the how of what you know you need to do. But you got to go get it. It's not osmosis, guys. It's not going to fall in your lap. You can believe all you want. But until you begin to execute, until you begin to identify, you'll remain the same. And I was a person that remained the same for years. And all my heart, I knew better was available. All my heart, I knew where I wanted to get. I could see it. I could believe it. I could taste it. But I didn't know how to go get it. Come get it. This is your invitation for transformation. Come get it. Come get it. You're worth it. And so here's the thing also about vacation. People are so used to going on vacation for entertainment, and that only leaves you recycling. You come from vacation back to business as usual, and you're okay with that. That's mediocrity. It's not okay for you to come back the same way you left. You should come back not only changed, but your legacy should be changed. Your friends, your family, those people connected to you should be changed. That's what Destination the Retreat is about. Yes, you'll have an opportunity to experience the resort and go on the excursions. At the same time, you're going to experience your life at the next dimension. You're going to execute your life at the next dimension. You're going to execute your legacy at the next dimension at Destination the Retreat. So join us. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm inducing labors. I'm already inducing labors now. Right now, that baby is jumping in your belly like never before, and you know it. Make the provision, guys. It's already been made to you. You just have to execute. That's it. It's waiting on you. You just have to execute. Get there. Destination, the retreat.eventbrite.com. Get there. Your life, the quality thereof, will never ever, 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 ever be the same. Never, ever be the same. I'm looking forward to helping you be this earth's answer, because you are this earth's answer. I can't do it all. If I could, I would. I do pray this prayer. Let me make it very clear. I do pray this prayer that God, for those that don't want it, for those that refuse to go get their next, give it to me. And I'm very serious. Give it to me. Because if you don't want your next, it's no sense of it being wasted. It's no sense of it being wasted. So if you don't want to pass, give it to me. Pass it to me. Literally, give it to me. But here's your opportunity to go get your own, to change your life, to get on the opposite side of fear, right? And let it fuel you in order to get to your next destination. Where you are right now is not where you're supposed to be, and you know it. You've hung out there long enough. You've parked there long enough. Go get your next. It's a declaration. It's a directive, right? It's a directive for you to go get your next. That's right, Dora. Dora says, I want my next, and you will get it, Dora. You will get it. Join us, guys. Destination the Retreat. .eventbrite.com. Listen, when I tell you guys that this retreat, this is my 5th year of doing retreats, right? This retreat has stretched me like no other retreat. And so I'm like, God, what is up with that? And it makes very sense. Thinking not strange that it's year 5. Grace. He said, you got the grace for this race. Let's go. Let's do it. And so the things, the dreams and the visions and the calling that he has given me for this retreat is out of this world. And it's not something that I'm just saying. I don't play no games, guys. I don't. Literally, because I got the answer to him. I got the answer to him. And so this is a part of my answer. If I was to forfeit Destination the Retreat and anything else that God has birthed on the inside of me, when I stand before God and those people that were supposed to get their breakthrough at Destination and I forfeited it, I got the answer for your blood. The same is so with you. You staying where you are is holding people up. Stop delaying their transformation. Stop delaying their next destination. They're waiting on your yes. Your yes is going to propel them to their next. You got to go, guys. You got to go. Enough with the entertainment. Going on these retreats. Going on these conferences. Going on these cruises. Just to be entertained. Listen, I love it. I'm a cruiser. I cruise all the time. But there's a time and there's a place for it. I had one young lady that's signing up, and she said, listen, I spend $1,700 just on the, what is that musical cruise that they have every year, right? And come back the same. She's been entertained, right? She's had a great time while she was there, but come back the same, hating her job, knowing that she's not supposed to be in that same place. But then she just invested all of these thousands of dollars in entertainment. Time out for that, guys. It's time to invest in your leveraging, in your legacy, in your elevation, and not just entertainment. Not just entertainment, guys. Entertain your brain to the next dimension. So join us at Destination the Retreat.eventbrite.com. I look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, inbox me. If there's something that you need to help you get there, inbox me. I am here to help you. I'm here to give you everything. I'm not here to get anything from you, but to get you something. I'm going to say that again. I'm not here to get anything from you, but to get you something. And that something is your next. Go get your next now. www.destinationtheretreat.eventbrite.com. I look forward to seeing you there. Have an amazing day, guys. And those of you guys that came in for the replay, let us know you're here. Don't just be a lurker and don't say hello. Say hello. My mom told me when you enter, you say hello. Well, when on these lives, you've entered my place. You've entered my presence. Say hello. Let me know you're here. Let me know if anything that I've shared has pierced your soul. And I know something, at least one something that I've shared has pierced your soul because it's coming straight from the throne of God. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to seeing your registrations coming through. I look forward to meeting you at Destination The Retreat. Your life and the quality thereof will never, ever be the same. See you soon.